I don't have a lot of time on my hands.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
Alrighty. So, right here is the discharge letter. So this spells out basically everything with him. So when he first came in, their physical exam, the neuro exam, the blood work we did, the imaging. So the first two are radiographs that we did, and the third one is the MRI and the CT. So this kind of spells out kind of doctor terms, what they found on the MRI and the CT, and right here it says exactly what they did. So it was performed last Saturday. It lasted till 2 o'clock in the morning.
I know, he called me. I waited. He called me at 1:30 to give me the update. It was great.
So it was very lengthy surgery, but he recovered extremely well. So they did a bit of a hemiluminectomy, and they did a fracture fixation. And basically, we put his spine back together. So it's not the end of the story. So right here we have the summary and recommendations. So it's pretty lengthy. I do recommend you read through it to, since you're going to be caring for him, and if you end up keeping him or whoever ends up keeping him, they should read through it as well. It's a lot of detail. So it kind of goes over everything again when he first came in. So he was unable to urinate and he couldn't feel his tail. It goes on and on and on. So the thing at home is he's going to be strictly crate rested for 8 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So it's a long time.
Wow.
Good enough for him. It's a new environment. So let's say if he were 8 years old and spent his whole life at home and he'd never sat in a crate before, he'd be really upset. Never been in a crate before. But he's very calm in the kennel. He's pretty good about telling us things, and he's very cozy and doesn't seem to be upset by it whatsoever. So I imagine the 8 weeks in the crate should be okay. We do have a couple things that'll help you with that. It's going to be 8 weeks in a crate. So going out 3 to 4 times a day. He has to be carried outside into the grass or wherever area he's going to be in 3 to 4 times daily, so he could use the restroom. The thing about that is he can defecate, he just can't voluntarily urinate. Okay. You're going to be a little confused because sometimes it looks like he can urinate.
Because they told me he could.
It's a little bit in the air. I don't think he can actually. We don't think he can actually urinate on his own.
It's coming out though, right?
It definitely comes out. So I believe his bladder is just very flaccid and it just ends up flowing through. So we're going to be going over bladder expressions with you. Okay. So how to express his bladder when he's at home. In my experience, just taking care of him, you will see that he's going to be leaking all the time. You're going to want to jump to a diaper, which I don't discourage.
What about a belly band?
Or a belly band.
I have them in my car.
But he does have a bit of irritation just from all the urine, so, and we're bathing him very frequently. So we're sending him home with some powder to reduce the irritation and discomfort that he has. It doesn't seem to bother him, but it doesn't look like it's comfortable. So 3 to 4 times a day, going outside so you can defecate, and this is a good time to express him. So when I show the expressions, when we go outside 3 to 4 times a day, that'd be a good time to do it. We're going to keep an eye on his incision for swelling, redness, heat, pain, or discharge. It looks great. His hair is already growing back over it. So in about 2 weeks, 2 weeks from now, we're going to remove the staples. That'll be like a free rear check will go. We'll see how he's doing, maybe decrease the meds or take him off some, and there'll be kind of like a progress check. And then from there, we'll see him again in 8 weeks, just to see, the full progress. So at the 8 weeks of when the crate rest is over, we're going to see how he's doing.
Okay.
So
no walking him outside. It's just literally cage rest.
Until the end of the crate rest, we're going to keep him confined, only going out 3 to 4 times a day.
Okay.
No playing with other dogs, no walks.
So not even introducing them.
Right.
No, you really shouldn't introduce them. Now, he can walk on all 4. He actually almost tries, if you put him down, he'll go. He wants to go see things and sniff and whatnot. It's very, very fragile, though, so you have to really be careful.
So we don't want that.
We don't want that at all. When we pick him up, we want to make sure his back is as straight as possible. Supported. Yep. Put this here. Yeah. Alrighty. So this goes over a bit of expressing a bladder. Recommends 3 to 5 times a day.
Sorry about that.
You actually have to express them. I always recommend doing it when you go outside. Okay. A little bit more about the urine. Like I said, he's gonna be dripping a lot. So in my experience, when I have been expressing him, it hasn't been a full bladder. His bladder usually doesn't get full and he has discomfort, it usually leaks out. So it's going to be a lot of bedding changes. It's going to be divers or belly bands. It's going to be a lot of upkeep.
Okay.
So the belly bands, I have a bunch of them, brand new. Buy a big box of maxi pads, like the overnight ones, and just put, I don't know if you ever saw a belly band before. Mm-hmm. Put it in, wrap it, and then just change that. And when you take them out, take the belly band off and let them, that's when you're going to compress. Okay.
Just depends on what portion. So we don't want it over his incision.
Right.
Because then it'll put a bit of pressure on there and it could trap any moisture or anything. It could cause an infection or whatnot. So we just have to be careful in regards to how exactly we're putting the belly band on.
Okay.
So here it goes over. He'll constantly be leaking, so we do want to keep him clean and dry. We've been bathing him daily, but very carefully. So we're not putting him in a bathtub and turning the shower on or anything like that. We're giving him half baths. So we have a wet table where, I guess at your normal sink at home, you have the hose and you can kind of spray things. So we're using that to clean the lower half of his body. So the water never goes above his back at all, because as long as he has the staples and the sutures in, they cannot be wet.
Right.
So once they come out, we might be a little more open to giving him proper baths.
And that's 2 weeks.
It's about 2 weeks, you're right.
Okay.
So we expect him to just improve, not decline. So if you have any indication of, he's not walking now or he seems painful, then you give us a call right away. It does recommend a consultation with an orthopedic surgeon. Dr. Topple will touch on that a little bit.
Okay.
But he does need potentially a little bit more work done in order to be, I guess, fully stable and fully healed. To the specifics, I don't personally know, but he'll have a little bit more information in regards to that.
I think you're talking about the hip.
Yes, his hips, right. So he's actually taking 5 medications, but there's 2 listed for his belly, his prepuce and whatnot. So the first one's cephalexin. This is an antibiotic. So we're giving 1 capsule twice daily. And actually, I'll just show them to you while we're here.
Oh my goodness. Not what I expected at all.
Let me actually pull this down.
Not what they told me. Oh my.
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming, but
okay.
Yeah,
it's
so
worth it.
This is the cephalexin. It's 250 milligrams. We're using it 1 in the morning and 1 at night. So 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. is the schedule we've been doing. You can change it to whatever fits your schedule. Do you recommend to give it with food? So probably feeding him twice a day or giving him little meatballs or whatever when you're giving him works.
Do you open that and pour it on the
No,
food, or
no, just the whole capsule?
The whole capsule. Yep. If you haven't smelled this, it's god awful. So hide it well on the meatball.
Is he eating dog food for you?
Yeah, he's eating extremely well.
Wow.
Yeah.
We couldn't get him. Maybe it was because of the pain.
Yeah.
I was going to Boston Market drive-through, and that dog would only eat
the chicken.
I was literally, half a chicken a day. He was eating. He would. I know.
All right. So the next one is gabapentin. So this is. Where is it exactly? No, I must have left it. Oh, here it is. Alright, so gabapentin is another capsule. He's going to get 1 capsule 3 times daily. So 8 a.m., 4 p.m. at midnight is what we've been doing. You can do 7, 3, and 11, or if you're up later, you can do 9, 5, and 2. Whatever works best for you. So, again, these capsules 3 times a day. They don't smell as bad.
So they're almost done.
That one's supposed to be done.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll get it 3 times a day. So
okay.
3 days should last him about another week or so. It's somewhat intentional that they run out before the recheck, so that we see some of them will run out before, some of them will run out at or right after. It's intentional to see, he's off of this now. What's his pain what's his comfort level? Is he still in pain? The next one's tramadol. I know familiar. It's an opioid. It's a pain med. It's these. So he's going to get 1 half tablet 2 to 3 times a day. We have him at 3 times a day right now. Again, this one you can kind of try twice a day, see what his comfort level is, and go from there. But right now he's at 3 times a day.
A half a tab.
A half tab, right. So they're really easy to cut in half. You can just put them on the table and use your thumbs to crack them open. They're very bitter, very, very, very chalky. If you see that they taste it, their mouth can start foaming up, and it looks real nasty. So I would say hide that in pill pockets or whatever you're gonna feed him.
Okay.
We have plenty of pill pockets if needed.
Perfect. He's only gotten 3 meds today. The other 2 we were holding off on.
Okay.
So the next 2 are trazodone, or I'm skipping to trazodone. It's a sedative. It keeps him nice and well. You're
Calm. Yeah.
Are you familiar with trazodone?
Just keeps him calm.
Exactly. It's calm. It's a sedative. We haven't been giving him to him just because he hasn't really needed it. He just sits in the cage. He curls up. He's really comfy. If you do find that at the crate and in the crate at home, he's a little antsy. You think he's not resting. He's moving around. He's annoyed. You can start giving this.
Okay.
So this will be a half tablet 2 to 3 times a day. These are a little harder to. You can still use your thumbs. It's just a little harder. If you have a pill pocket, it works.
I usually put it on the counter and take a knife, a sharp knife, and then I just
perfect.
And it goes
that
right
works well too.
Okay.
Yep. So this one can be a half tablet up to 3 times a day.
If needed.
So I wouldn't exceed that.
Okay.
And diazepam. This is Valium. It's a muscle relaxer. So we also haven't needed it. It does a couple of things for us. It being a muscle relaxer, it keeps him calm in the kennel. We haven't been giving it to him again. We haven't really needed it. It doubly so helps us to express his bladder. So again, we haven't really had issues, but at home, if you find that you're having trouble expressing his bladder, it's really good to give this about an hour before you do it. So if you go and try and you say, man, it's kind of hard, it seems tense, or I can't really get it, give him a pill, wait an hour, or actually it'll be a half tablet. Give him a half tablet, wait an hour, and it should relax and ease up a bit. So right now he's not getting the traz or the diazepam, so that's going to be an at-home. How's he going to react to it? Right. Okay. And the diazepam is also up to 3 times a day. So.
And you wrote all this down, right?
Yeah.
So I wrote all the instructions are here. Yep.
For the last 2, you said it's not a must. You can try it out if needed. Okay.
So I wrote the times we've given his meds for the other 3. Just that these are the times they're next due today. And
okay.
Can I make some notes?
Oh yeah, of course. This is all yours.
So the diazepam, just
for expressions or for his bladder, and I would say stick to the schedule for today for the other 3, and then tomorrow or within daily increments you can change it up.
All right, and the Tramadol is the one.
That's the pain med. Yeah,
that's the pain med.
Right.
Okay.
The trazodone is the relaxer. Right. It's they both start with TR and they both have the same concentration.
Calming if needed.
Right.
Okay.
So the next thing is this Neopridef. It is a powder. It's also a little bit of an antibiotic. It really, really helps for skin irritation, like urine scalding or some kind of allergic reaction that sometimes helps. So this we're going to be putting onto him about 3 to 4 times a day. We've been doing it every 6 hours, which is 4 times a day. So you turn it upside down and you squeeze it, and a puff will come out.
Okay.
So if he's like sitting up and you're putting it like on his belly, you can actually flip it over and then squeeze it and then just flip it over.
It's like a powder.
It's a powder, exactly. And then I would say, generously cover the area.
Cover the area with what?
With the powder.
Oh, gotcha.
And then lightly tap it. Rubbing it will kind of hurt.
Yeah.
If you're at a rash and you're not comfortable.
Powders for irritation, skin, and then just like powder, and then just pet it.
Yeah.
Pat it.
Happens every time when you're actually putting this on. You won't notice it, and he won't pee. You'll kind of get a whiff of it. It's not bad smelling, but it makes you cough. So just a warning.
Okay.
Next one is Decidin cream. This is an over-the-counter.
Like for rashes?
For rashes, exactly. Yep. So a CVS or Walgreens or anything, they should have it. It's going to be basically the same as this. So we're going to be giving them both. So the Neopridef we're going to do for 7 days. The Decidin cream we're going to do for the next 2 to 3 days. Okay. We're going to alternate. So Neopridef we can do 1 day, and then the Decidin cream we can do another day. Okay. Or you can even alternate within the day. So I did the Pred-F today, this hour, and then in 6 hours I'm going to do the cream.
Okay.
So you have a couple of options there. It's probably easier if you do Pred-F one day and the cream the next day.
Okay. You need do you need a crate too, right?
I have one.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
For a good size for him?
What's the size of the crate? Do you just kind
Well,
of
my
ballparking it?
dogs are all under 20 pounds, so it's about this long, about that wide, or that tall.
Okay, and the width? I guess you could
The width.
thinking about the tiles.
Do you want it smaller than bigger? I mean, I have every
It's probably
size.
about the width of that.
Width of the tile?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe just a hair long.
Okay, then we don't want, so you want it big enough so that he can turn around, which I
Right.
think that width is fine.
Yeah.
And if the length is about 2 tiles, then that should be okay.
It's
It might be a
not
little
quite- not quite
cramped
the
for
length.
him. It might be a little cramped for him.
I have every size I can get her.
Okay, we'll see.
Perfect. So I
Don't
would
worry.
say this width or even
Could he have a large one?
I would discourage a larger one.
Okay. So just a good medium-sized
a good
crate.
medium-sized crate.
The
But
height-wise, he's not going to feel confined. He can
Exactly.
stand up, and he
And
can.
we can even use a pen if he behaves well in it. So if you
I have a pen.
I would try a
That
couple of
we were
things.
talking about
That might even be
yesterday.
better.
Yeah.
A round pen where it's a circle octagon. He can't get over.
It just has to be like I know it has to be confined,
Mhm.
right? So he's gonna need to have really soft bedding.
Mhm.
Oh, we have plenty of
Yeah,
that.
that's done.
Beds, comforters, whatnot, and a large amount of them because he will be urinating a lot.
And a lot
If
of
you
pee
have
pads. Got tons.
Right. I always recommend putting soft bedding at the bottom,
Yeah,
a
and
couple of
pee
pee
pads.
pads on top, and then a towel or something on top of that because it's kind of cottony paper, the pee pads
Yeah.
usually,
Yeah.
and it can be somewhat uncomfortable. It usually doesn't bother them, but usually
Gotcha.
makes me feel better.
Yeah.
So, a couple of things. Also, if you have like a big comforter, you put some pee pads and a towel. The comforter is not always going to be soiled. You're going to ruin your washing machine by washing it all the time.
Christy, you okay with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
The nursing background comes in handy.
Oh, I didn't know that. Surprise, surprise.
Yep. All right.
When am I going to get to see this dog? I'm dying.
So Dr. DePapa does have to come in, say a couple words, and
He'll bring him in?
Bring Papa.
Okay.
All right. So this is the time to ask any and all questions. Of course, you can ask DePapa a few, doctor-specific ones, but I can cover literally everything else.
Yeah, I think most of it just when we get in there, show me how to pick him up and
Mm-hmm.
move him.
And compress the bladder. That's the thing.
All right. We don't have any dietary restrictions. The only thing I recommend to owners or to fosters, is that he is going to be confined, so he's not going to have a lot of activity. So if you're concerned about him gaining some weight, which a lot of people don't really mind,
No, we don't care.
there you go. So
He
he
needs-
is going to be restricted for movement. So he's going to gain some weight most likely,
Okay.
which
That's
doesn't really
fine.
matter.
He wasn't eating much before.
Exactly. That's yeah. But he has a good appetite
But he is
now.
pooping on his own.
Yeah, he defecates on his own.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. And there was no, from what I was being, because correct me if I'm wrong, but the calls I was getting, he was not urinating at all, and now it's starting to come out on its own. So,
Right, it's been a little bit of a change.
so maybe I'm staying positive and hopeful.
Yeah, we'll see.
I am. I am, because I'm telling you, before he came in here, he was urinating up until the day on his
Right.
own. Right? He would go outside. He wouldn't lift his leg, obviously.
Right.
Just stand there, come out like a stream. So
So he's not quite doing that.
I know, but I'm still hoping and praying
That it comes back.
that it comes back.
Yeah.
And if God forbid it doesn't, he can
That's
walk,
okay.
he can poop. Got belly bands. We have plenty of love, and this dog deserves the life that he should have.
For the pooping, taking him outside, I mean, is there a time limit on how long he can stay outside? I mean, really,
No,
for the
I would say-
movement, I mean,
10 minutes,
All
really.
right.
It's not just for urination or defecation. I mean, they're in the grass, they get some fresh air,
Yeah.
sunlight, it's a little bit of comfort for
Yeah.
them.
Sure.
And of course, they doubly so get to relieve themselves.
So we're definitely not putting a harness on him. We'll put
So he does need a harness on the
A harness?
front side, not a collar. So since his problem is in his lower back, a harness on his chest and whatnot.
So
A
you-
normal harness.
You want a regular harness on him?
Yeah, he definitely needs to always go outside with the harness.
Okay.
He needs to be picked up,
Carried out and put
outside.
down and held on a leash and harness.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
Can't
just
give him
as-
a chance to go anywhere.
Right. He's gonna want to.
I know, especially being confined, so it's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be a challenge. And you're going to have to juggle your dogs taking him out 3.
Yeah, no, my dogs will be put in a room, so I'm only dealing with Bobby when I take him out. I'm not doing all of them.
No,